Hi everyone, Lisa Brarely here. I'm starting today to give you a little bit of a rundown or a sharing of my book called The Year of Love. And the tagline under that is taking risks, big and small, finding my soulmate to win it all. And I began writing this book, I believe it was August 1st, on a plane ride to Prince Edward Island, which is where I grew up. And my first direction in writing the book was kind of the title that I was beginning to think about was going to be called Why Scott? And as I wrote it, and then I started to write a little more, people were saying to me, well, why don't you write about your last year, like after you met Scott? And as it started and developed, I kind of expanded to a different path, I suppose. Well, that's the rain you can hear. It's raining here in Thailand. And it opened up kind of the idea that I wanted to talk more about me, because if I was to talk about him per se, I would have to question him about all these things and ask and get clarification and all those things. So I took it from the perspective of my journey and my life, and how meeting Scott and having this amazing man come into my life has been just so eye-opening for me. And so that's the direction it went. So really I began this book August 1st, and it's off to the editors in the next week or two. So it's kind of been a whirlwind. 3-4 months in the writing process, and will be published in March. So, as I said to you, I was going to give you sort of a little summary or a little understanding of my growth, my awareness in this journey of life. And in my book as well, you'll read kind of a little prologue, a little backstory about me, and a little bit of a lead up. However, chapter 1 was called The Risk. And I realized writing that very first chapter, I was not much of a risk taker in my life. And in that time of August, I felt like I was taking lots of risks. I had just separated from my husband. I bought my first home. I bought my car, my first car at the age of 48. I was doing it all on my own. I had my daughter living with me. I had a job, like everything. I felt like I was taking risks, and little did I know after going through this past year that there was way more risks that I could take to expand what I realized I didn't realize I was capable of doing. And that month of August, the chapter August 2021 called The Risk, was the month I met Scott. And at the time, that was a huge risk. Like I said, all that stuff was happening to me. And then I met this guy. I'm like, what am I doing jumping into a relationship so quickly? It was a risk. And a risk with no regrets, that's for sure. And so in this chapter, you'll read all how we met, how I was feeling, what I was going through, and what we did, and how it all started. So, chapter 1, the risk.